Nobody is forcing you to keep your streak. You could just delete the app right now. So why does Duo look so menacing and dangerous? It's because Duolingo uses a lot of different strategies to make you stay on the app more. For example, it uses daily streak. Nobody wants that number to go back to zero. There's also the XP you earn, and even the thread and all the lore that you see on YouTube is part of the strategy of Duolingo. And maybe it's a good thing. If you spend more time on the app, you should learn more of the language, right? Actually, no. Because Duolingo is not optimized for learning, but only optimized to make you stay on the app longer and to help them making more money. For example, yes, with a daily streak, you will use the app every day, but if you only do a 5 minute lessons, it's not enough to learn the language. And it's the same for the XP you earn. If you do the same lesson 10 times in a row, you won't learn anything new. And even all those threads, it will only give you a short-term motivation. But to learn and be completely fluent in a language, you need months or even years of training before being completely fluent. That's what we call the good heart law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. And in this case, your daily streak and the XP you earn is a measure, but it should not become your target. But don't forget that your goal is to learn a new language and to become one day completely fluent in that language. So what's the solution? What should you do to learn a language? I mean, you could just keep using Duolingo without looking at the streak or the XP. But that does not change the fact that Duolingo is not optimized for learning. You should just delete Duolingo and use something else instead. For example, there's a lot of good YouTube videos to learn a language. Or you could also install Anki, which is a free and open source app that uses a really good system called the space repetition system. But even Anki is not perfect, and I already talked about Anki's problem in my last videos. But you should really use Psitta instead, my own language app that is still in development. So the first version should be ready in about a month. And I want my app to be really focused on language learning. And instead of inventing any new or complex technique, I will only use systems that I know that already work, like the space repetition system from Anki. And later, I also want to add more features from different learning apps that already exist to make the best language learning experience as possible. So the first version of my app should be ready in about a month or so. So if you are curious, don't forget to subscribe. Or if you want more information, go check my GitHub in the description. And I'll see you next week.